Sprinkle in a teaspoon each of salt and sweet paprika.
A half teaspoon of pepper goes in.
Press 3 garlic cloves. Fresh garlic always makes the chicken taste so much better. Pour in 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Mix thoroughly until the marinade is uniform. Using quality oil creates a beautiful golden crust when frying, which adds a wonderful flavor to the dish. Let's prepare 6 chicken thighs by removing the bones. Here is my personal technique for doing it quickly and cleanly. A sharp knife is essential for this task. It makes the process much safer and allows you to preserve as much succulent meat as possible. We repeat this process with all the pieces. Taking care with each one ensures the final dish is consistent in both taste and texture. Consistency is truly the key to achieving professional results in your own kitchen. Now, we make a shallow cut on the thickest part of the meat to even it out. We do this to ensure that when we roll the chicken, it forms a perfectly uniform, symmetrical roulade. This small, careful step guarantees that your dish will look like a restaurant-quality meal when served. Next, we lay the pieces out. Cover them with plastic wrap and give them a gentle tap. Please remember to be careful. We aren't trying to flatten them completely, just even them out. This light preparation ensures that your chicken roulades will be perfectly cooked and exceptionally tender for your family to enjoy. Let's take our flavorful sauce and coat every piece of chicken evenly with a brush. Notice how the sauce brings everything together. By coating the meat thoroughly, we ensure that the seasoning is perfectly balanced throughout the entire roll, making every mouthful a truly delightful experience for your guests. Now, place the chicken pieces into a glass container, sauce side down. This allows the marinade to soak into the meat perfectly as it rests, ensuring the most flavorful result. We repeat this exact process with all the remaining chicken pieces. Consistency in each step is what truly defines a well-prepared meal. Once you have finished layering all the pieces in the container, cover it and place it in the refrigerator. Letting the chicken rest for a while is the best way to develop a deep, rich flavor. While our chicken rests, it's time to prepare the filling. In a pan, heat 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil, along with a little bit of butter. As the pan warms, we'll move on to chopping our onion. I prefer cutting it into small, even pieces so it softens quickly and releases all its natural sweetness. If you want a more delicate flavor, try not to chop it too finely. Just small, consistent pieces are perfect. This ensures the onion adds a lovely texture and a mild, savory depth to our filling without overpowering the chicken. The pan is hot, so let's add the onion and stir. It's always a pleasure to watch it start to sizzle. By stirring it steadily, we ensure that every piece gets that lovely golden touch without browning too much. Now it's time to prepare our mushrooms. Take about 200 to 250 grams and slice them into thin, even pieces. I prefer thin slices because they cook quickly, release their moisture, and caramelize beautifully alongside the onions. This creates a rich, earthy flavor profile that works perfectly for our roulade filling. Remember, consistency and size is key to an even texture in every bite. Now add the sliced mushrooms to the pan with the onions and mix everything well. At this stage, the mushrooms will start to release their moisture, so give them enough space and time to evaporate that liquid. We want them to become nicely browned and fragrant, not steamed. As the moisture disappears, you'll see the color deepen, which means all those incredible flavors are concentrating right where we want them, in our filling. Now add a pinch of salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. Give it all a final good stir to distribute the seasoning evenly, and then remove the pan from the heat. Now, let's grate 120 grams of cheese using the coarse side of the grater. Using a coarse grate ensures the cheese melts evenly inside the roulade, creating that wonderful, creamy texture we are looking for. It adds a delicious, savory richness that perfectly complements the mushrooms and tender chicken. Finally, let's incorporate the grated cheese into the mushroom mixture and mix it all together with care. Seeing these ingredients blend into a delicious, golden-flecked filling is always a highlight. Let's prepare a small bunch of parsley for our filling. A pro tip: if the stems are thick, it's best to trim them off and just use the leaves. Don't chop it into dust. Leave the pieces a bit larger to keep the texture and fresh aroma intact. Adding fresh herbs like this at the last minute really lifts the entire dish, giving it that special, home-cooked charm that everyone loves. Now add the chopped parsley to the mixture and give it a final stir. This splash of fresh green not only makes the filling look vibrant and appetizing, but also adds a bright herbal note that perfectly balances the rich flavor of the mushrooms and cheese. Our filling is now complete and ready to use. Let's start assembling. Lay out one marinated chicken piece and carefully add a portion of our filling at one end. Now, roll the chicken piece up tightly, ensuring the filling is securely tucked inside. Once it's rolled, place it seam side down into your baking dish. This helps the roulade hold its shape perfectly while cooking, keeping all that wonderful, flavorful filling exactly where it belongs. Keep going with the rest of the chicken, placing each roll in the dish. Place the dish in a preheated oven at 190 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes. Now, let's prepare a glaze. Add 3 tablespoons of soy sauce to a bowl. Next, add a tablespoon of honey. It perfectly balances the saltiness of the soy sauce with a lovely, subtle sweetness. Now, add a teaspoon of sweet chili sauce. Finally, add a teaspoon of turmeric and mix until smooth. Turmeric gives our glaze a beautiful, vibrant golden color and a lovely mild aroma. Stir everything thoroughly so the honey and spices combine into a perfect, uniform sauce that will coat our chicken beautifully. The chicken is partially baked, and it's time to apply our glaze. Generously brush each roll so it's well coated. This will create a beautiful, savory sweet crust that caramelizes perfectly during the final minutes in the oven. Back into the oven for 10 more minutes at the same temperature. Just look at that golden glaze and the way these chicken roulades have come together. They are perfectly juicy, tender, and packed with that savory mushroom and cheese filling. It is the kind of dish that looks professional, smells divine, and tastes even better than it looks. But let's take a look inside this roulade. Just see how incredibly juicy and tender that chicken remains. The filling is so creamy from the melted cheese, the mushrooms are perfectly golden, and all those layers create an absolutely beautiful and irresistible texture. Thank you for cooking with me. Enjoy every bite.